Hello everybody, my name is Vanessa Angelica Budiono. I would like to present about my research about production and capacity planning as well as inventory and distribution control in snack packaging companies using open source ERP simulation. Besides me, there are also Miss Lina Gozali and also Mr. Iwan Sukania who helped me finish my research. In this millennial era, industrial growth is increasing with many unfulfilled community needs. Community needs that have not been met cause the emergence of new companies, so that companies also have new competitors. Therefore, companies need the right method or strategy to ensure that the products produced to meet consumer demand and increase productivity as not to compete with other companies. PTXYZ is a company engaged in printing and packaging that has been established for 10 years in Tangerang area. This company has a make-to-order principle and its products are dominated by consumer snack packaging. When conducting interviews with PPIC staff of PTXYZ, obtained some information that the company has never forecast product demands and ordered raw materials according to consumer orders based on the company's forecast. Ordering raw materials has a lead time of 2 weeks to 4 weeks and the demand for snack packaging products is uncertain. Therefore, PTXYZ requires an improvement production plan for forecasting, production planning, raw material planning, and distribution of snack packaging products to help overcome problems that occur in the company and improve the company's production performance. In addition to design improvements to overcome problems and improve company performance is by implementing software using Odoo open source. There are several objectives to do this research, such as calculate product demand forecast to find out product demand forecast in the next period. Second, calculating raw materials requirements to find out the number of raw materials that need to be provided. The third one is calculate the amount of aggregate production planning. The fourth, calculate the total production capacity of each machine for each shift of production working hours. The fifth, calculate the number of product distribution. And the last one is implement all ERP production planning calculation using open source Odoo software. There are 3 methods that I use. The first one is collecting data. Data was collected through field observation, company internal data, and interviews with company staff. Some of the problems that exist in PTXYZ is identified by never forecasting product demand, unsuitable raw material inventory control process, less effective production process planning, and sometimes delivery delays. After conducting field observation and interviews with company staff, the problems found and identified were then formulated. Formulation of problems for existing problems is by planning the right forecast, appropriate production planning, planning the right raw material inventory control, planning machine capacity, along with the right work shift, and planning the appropriate distribution. For the second one is the data analysis. After the data is obtained, it is continued with data processing. Data processing starts with forecasting using forecasting verification, aggregate planning, disaggregated planning, raw cut capacity planning, material required planning, capacity required planning, distribution required planning, and enterprise resource planning. From each existing method, an effective method will be chosen to be applied to PTXYZ. And the last method is implementation analysis. After the data analysis is carried out, suggestions for improvement are given based on the outcomes of the analysis conducted. The improvement proposal given is the right method to overcome the existing problems and implement the analysis results on the ERP system using Odoo open source. Next one is the data collection. Demand product data for 1 year from August 2021 until July 2022 shown in the presentation. Based on the data from the company, the lead time for raw materials and their cost shown in presentation. Bill of material, or you can say BOM, for packaging snack products based on company archive data shown in the figure. The figure that's shown in the presentation is the number of raw materials needed to make one snack packaging products. Distribution product cost to customers based on the results of interviews and company archive data shown in the table. Next is the results and discussion. The outcome of the decomposition method shown in the table. The outcome comes from the forecast results. The forecasting methods used in this research consist of single moving average, weight moving average, double moving average, single exponential smoothing, double exponential smoothing, linear regression, decomposition, cyclic, and also quadratic. The data used for forecasting is the demand data for 1 year. From 9 methods of forecasting, the best formula that can be implemented by the company is decomposition, which had the smallest error. After knowing the smallest error value, it is continued by calculating the forecast for the next 12 months, which shown in the table. The forecast data for the next 12 months will be used to calculate aggregate planning, roll out capacity planning, capacity required planning, safety stock, material required planning, and also distribution required planning. The aggregate planning consists forecast of targeted sales, manufacturing levels, supply levels, and client deposits. This scheme is considered to meet estimated demand with the least cost. There are 3 methods of aggregate planning used, namely shift aggregate planning, regular time aggregate planning, and also mixed aggregate, which consists of shift and regular time. Of the 3 methods used, the mixed aggregate planning method is the method with the least cost. The mixed aggregate plan method can be seen as in the following presentation. Before calculating material required planning, it is necessary to find safety stock first. Safety stock is used to reduce the risks and consequence of being out of stock, allowing the supply chain to run as normal even after the stock cycle is depleted. In the calculation of safety stock, the service level used is 95% of that used by the company. And for the safety stock can be seen on the presentation. Material required planning is carried out to plan raw material orders according to existing demand. There are 5 MRP methods used in this study, namely least unit cost, lot for lot, silver meal, economic order quantity, and also period order quantity. Of the 5 methods, when compared with PTXYZ formula, the period order quantity formula has the lowest cost. The formula with the lowest cost is an effective formula for PTXYZ. The cost comparisons of the 5 material requirement planning methods and the methods used by the company shown in the table. After planning the production process and material required planning, proceed with distribution required planning calculation. Distribution requirement planning calculation are carried out to minimize shortage and reduce ordering costs, distribution costs, and holding costs. The results of the distribution required planning calculation shown in the presentation. From the table in the presentation, it can be seen that the calculation of the ERP method has a lower cost than the method used by PTXYZ. This can reduce the cost incurred by the company to distribute its products. The next one is the proposed improvement. Based on the problem that exists in PTXYZ, to overcome all the problems, Odoo Open Source ERP simulation is used. Odoo Open Source is a website builder tool that can be used to manage the operational strategy of business and their users. In this study, Open Source Odoo was used to manage inventory, purchasing, sales, and distribution. In making a website, it can be customized easily according to company data and company needs. The appearance of the website along with its features shown in the figure. An inventory feature is a feature to manage raw material supplies and product stocks. In the inventory section, raw materials and products can be set by distinguishing between products that can be purchased and products that can be sold. The display on the inventory menu shown in the presentation. The purchase menu is a menu that is used to control purchase invoice, sales bills, import goods, and export goods. The feature of purchase can be seen in the screen. On the sales menu, customers' orders and product sales can be set. The website menu of sales can be seen in the figure. Then, to ensure that the results of forecasting calculation using the decomposition method are valid, then the validity is checked. The results of the calculation of the validation for the composition forecasting method using the tracking signal method for snack packaging demand can be seen in the presentation. From the graph shown, the calculation outcome of the tracking signal do not pass the upper control limit and the lower control limit. This means that the demand for snack packaging forecasting with the decomposition method is feasible to use. Conclusion. From this research, it can be concluded that the right forecasting method to be used by PTXYZ is a decomposition method, which has the smallest error of all the methods used. Therefore, forecasting data for the next 1 year with the decomposition method will be used to perform other calculation. In aggregate planning, it was found that the mixed method, regular time and shift, has the smallest budget compared to the shift and overtime formula. Of the 5 MRP methods used, the lot sizing POQ method is the method that can produce the cheapest raw material storage cost. This method can save the cost of storing raw materials by 47.6% compared to PTXYZ method. Distribution planning using the DRP method produce a more regular schedule and stock availability than using the method used by PTXYZ. The results of planning using the DRP method produce cheaper costs and regular scheduling than the method used by the company. The DRP method can save distribution costs by 36.3% from the method used by PTXYZ. The Odoo open source ERP system help the companies to manage and control business operation easily. This is because Odoo automatically collecting the data and counting the data. The data on Odoo will be stored in the database and can be accessed by employees in all departments. The shipment information between offices can run fast and conscientiously and can minimize errors because most activities are carried out automatically by the system and the operator as the user only controls the running of the system. And this is for the reference that I use in this paper and the research. Thank you for listening my presentation.